You have a situation where, for example, you are going, and even the individual, let's say it's oil, the individual oil company have no strategy, let alone to combine their strategic capacity with energy needs such as hydroelectric power or so on and so forth, electricity generation. No such strategy. Okay? This is one country. And it's a country which, because of history and because of politics, cannot come and dictate to you the way the United States can dictate to you, or even, or Germany or whatever it is can come and dictate to you. Okay. When this government came into office, the first couple of weeks or so, John Mahama, the vice president, he had some Chinese minister and the Chinese ambassador in his office. He was on TV, and he was blasting them about their labor. You think you dare to do that?
Yeah, the Americans.
Of course not. I mean, even if the Americans are doing 100 times work, he dare not. You understand? So I'm trying to say that the relationship actually allows you to do certain things. However, what is the fact on the ground of what has happened? Since 2006 that we are talking about, African countries have signed 466 direct trade treaties with China. 466. That's far more than the number of countries that we have.
466.
Yes. And those are trade treaties which are to do, therefore, it must be some single commodity or some single sector or some. So even in one country,
from egg or
even in one country, what you may well find is that if we, unfortunately, the data is not available, but I'm sure that if we pursue this line of inquiry further, you might find that even in Ghana alone, we have maybe 50 trade treaties with China, all of which contradict each other.
And different ministries are doing work.
Okay, all of which contradict each other because you say you want to build a plastic industry, but one of the trade treaties is to lower tariff on certain plastic inputs into the country, which will destroy your local. However, another trade treaty will be to export plastic to China. So on the basis of your existing industry, you can export to China. On the basis of your future industry, you are destroying it because of your other treaties. That kind of incoherence exists. Africa as a whole has signed what I think has increased its bilateral investment treaties with developing countries from 133 in 1998 to 350 or so at this point in time. So that it's not so much that we don't have a strategy; it is getting worse. The multiplicity. When people say what the South offers us is diversification, it doesn't mean it ought not mean fragmentation. Diversification does not mean that actually you are becoming more and more fragmented. So the question that you raise, that you see a block forward, actually that is why it's important to discuss a report like this. Because if we do not have, you forget about the different countries. You can ask the same question of your own country. It does not have a development strategy itself. So what one sector does is the direct contradiction of what another sector does. Or within the same sector, what one small subsector does is a direct contradiction of what another person does. Industry today is crying about electricity tariffs, water tariffs, and so on and so forth, because it will cripple. There is no strategy in this small country with this small industry, tiny industry that we have. We cannot even have a coherent strategy around the energy tariffs, and that's why it's important to develop this perspective.